What's going on, everybody? Welcome to For the Record once again, and I am your host, Kahlil McKenzie, and today I am joined by my guy here, Scott Mullinex. He is business development over at Sports Academy, where actually I train as well, and might be just a guest, might be a future co-host. We'll see. You mess this up, and we're gonna get him up out of here real quick. He won't be back again, so don't worry.
Give my one shot.
Yeah, this is one opportunity, like Eminem said. So you know what I'm saying. He is from Michigan, so it kind of fits actually. That's one. I was about to say you can rap the lyrics. I don't know. I was about to try and do it. I was like, damn, I actually don't know the lyrics at all. Yeah, I know everyone.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah, I'm about to say you could have helped me there, and you just gonna sit there like I actually don't know the lyrics.
You were the host. I was letting you do your thing. Like I was letting you take that, man. That was all you right there.
Nah, I'm messing with you. We were actually just talking about this today. Like one of the first thing that pops up on my phone is there's a 14-foot alligator in Florida that's like carrying the body of like some human down the street. And like this dude just like seen him like walking on his way to like a job interview or something, and I'm just like, nah. See, like I saw a video last night. It's like a question of the day type thing, and they were like, what's like the biggest animal, or not even just biggest, what's like your tier of like what animal do you think you could take in a fight? And like that, like seeing that just made me think about it. I'm just like, yeah, like I saw like somebody's responses like give me like a pocket knife and I'm taking a gator, like in the comments. And I'm just like, nah, bro, like no, you're not. Like you're really not. Like I had to think about it for a second too though. I was just like, what animal, like what is my ceiling? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get, a solid like little hunting knife or something, and I'm just like, what's my ceiling? Like 1v1.
Like, are you in a cage? Or are you like
no, just like just 1v1.
Are you on their turf?
Wherever, just 1v1. It doesn't matter. It could be in a phone booth. It could be in an open field. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a 1v1. Like
I think a penguin. Like I think that's like the most I think I would feel comfortable with.
Hey, hold on.
Like fighting.
Like
what else?
Like a waddly penguin.
Like okay, let's take out dogs. Let's take out cats.
Okay,
right? Like the most. Yeah. Right, but like penguin. Like what else you got? Like a deer? Like some deer, man. I don't know. Like you're from Wisconsin. Like
a deer actually put one of my family members in a hospital. Like knocked on the door and then boom.
That's what I'm saying. So
they're good. Nah, they're good. Nah, but like now. Really, yeah, they're good now. But
I'm telling you, I think penguin.
Nah,
like
I ain't going
think
for
about
that.
it. Realistically think about it. Like what else?
That's what I'm saying. I've been thinking about it, and I've been trying to think like what animal. Like I mean, if it's mad enough and it's defending itself, I really think that I can take. I'm trying to think about all the zoo animals. I'm like, that's what
I was doing. You were just at the zoo, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just at the zoo too, and I'm like, no. Like, and that's the crazy thing too. It's like everybody, like, I did a video of like a ostrich there because I saw on like TikTok a dude saying like, oh, like if an ostrich, like me and an ostrich, like there's so much neck to grab and pause. No like, shot. Come on.
Yeah, it was.
Dang, that was kind of crazy. Dang. But nah, he said like there's a lot of real estate to like grab onto and stuff, and like I'm like, bro, it's got nails like this big on its foot, and like its foot is gonna catch you right in the chest and just open you right up, and it's over. That's like you're not gonna continue fighting. Like you punch the ostrich, it's gonna be like, what else you got? Like,
well, it's got the beak. It's got its like, dude. I'm telling you, like. Realistically,
I'm really thinking about it now. Like a penguin might actually be a good one. I'm trying to think. I'm like, nah.
Like you put yourself in the Sahara, like no shot.
Yeah, true. Yeah. What type of penguin?
I don't think it really matters.
Nah, the little puffer penguins that be in the zoos.
That's different.
I'm gonna kick one of those. Like
that's what I'm like. I'm thinking of myself like in a bathroom stall, and it's like I don't got much real estate. Like I'm in this chair. Like what am I like kicking?
I feel
it's a penguin. There's no like.
I feel
think
like
of all the elements that you could be with an animal.
I'm gonna be honest. I think because there's a lot of coyotes that like. If I have a hunting knife, like if I'm gonna up the ante like a little bit of fear, like it's gonna get me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I think that kind of with like a lot of like the big dogs and bigger cats. Like I'm not cats. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like it's like a maybe like a Bengal cat. Like like one of them big. Like they're like kind of like pets that be in a like they're bigger. Like they're like the big cats. Like a Bengal cat. Like. But that's what I'm saying. Like a Bengal cat. Like I'm like it's big, but it's not like it's not like it's not like too big, like a lynx or something like that. Like cats, really, like no wild cat really am I messing with. But like dogs, I think like a little maybe like I don't know, man. I think like one of them painted dogs, like all that.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like it's gonna come at me crazy, and like if it does get me in the neck or something, it's over with. But like I think if I just think about like, Cujo. Like I'm like, if I just like throw an arm out there, you can just bite it, and I got like a little knife or something, and I could just like give it rib shots. Like,
is that the rule though? Y'all have weapons?
I don't know.
I just said like one hunting knife. I'm giving myself something. I'm not fighting it barehanded. Nah,
like
bro.
a bobcat. I think like a bobcat. So
Bobcats are big though.
No, so I got a story. So my fiance, right?
Yeah.
So we've been training for a half marathon, or we just finished our half marathon training. And so she doesn't wear glasses, and she's got like the worst eyesight in the entire world. Like,
But doesn't wear glasses?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, this is the whole thing, bro. Like, this is the whole thing. Like, I hope she watches this and like realizes like.
Wear the glasses. They're great. I love my glasses.
She has them.
She's done.
Yeah, literally. Like, so she one time she went for a walk and she saw like a cat, like an actual house cat, because it had like a long tail, and she was like, "Dude, is this a bobcat?" Like, I don't know. And I was like, "Dude, you're good. Like, that's just a cat." And then she went on a run one day, and so we live in Allen, we live by like a trail.
Yeah.
And she was running, she took a picture of this, she thought it was a cat just sitting on like the side of the sidewalk, right? So she sends it to me, and I'm like, dude, like that's a bobcat, bro. Like that's a little actual. I was like, bro, I was like, are you good? Like, because I'm on the whole other side of the trail. Like I'm not even weak because we don't run together. Like, and so like, I'm on the whole other side of the trail. I'm like, are you okay? Like, is there? And she's like, no, it's just sitting there. I was like, bro, that's a bobcat.
Nah.
And it was just sitting there, and I was like, it was probably sitting there sizing you up. Like, hey,
what?
Man,
like just sitting there, like.
Like she's got a picture of it. Like I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
So that makes me go, okay, we good. Like I think a bobcat, like I'm all right.
Yeah.
Like I think with a hunting knife, I think I could take a bobcat.
See, I would say a bobcat, except for me and my wife went to this like Tiger King type place in Oklahoma, and. Well, nah, it was a different dude who said like literally it was right after Tiger King and all that stuff came out and stuff. He's like, I've been doing this stuff for longer than them and all this. He was one of those guys. It was like, I don't know if you should be super proud of that, like but whatever. It was a cool place. He's a cool guy. Got to hold a chinchilla. Yeah, you feel me? Like,
shout out.
You know, shout out him.
Shout out Oklahoma.
Shout out Oklahoma. But literally, we go and like they had a bobcat. That like they were like, oh yeah, like bobcats usually like it's honestly our most aggressive cat that we have. And I was just like, nah, like no way. Like we go up to the cage, this motherfucker, bro, literally jumps off of every single wall in there and is just like staring at us. I'm like, nah, I don't want nothing to do. And the way it was jumping off them walls, I don't want nothing to do with a bobcat. Nothing.
So I think I take back my answer then on bobcat.
Nah, I mean, well, and that's the thing too. It's
how
like,
big was it though? I mean, bobcat.
It was big. It was big. That's my thing too. Like that's why I say like big cats. Like that's why like dogs. Like even like the wild dogs. Like they usually don't get that big. Like wolves. Like I tell people all the time. Like wolves are huge.
Yeah,
they're very different than like a wild dog. Like they're humongous. So like. That's why obviously a wolf is out. My dog like it's out. Like a wolf is out. But like a just wild dog, I think that I could take a wild dog. I'm not going for nothing else though. Like if anybody's like, oh, give me a knife and I can probably get a bear. Like,
yeah, that's
fam. I watched Revenant. Like Revenant changed my whole perspective on any type of animal encounter. Like I was like, nah, like my man Leo really just got tore up by this bear and shot it like 5 times. Like I'm good.
So if you had to fight one bear though, like if it was like you had to go against a bear, which one you choosing? I think I would almost choose any of them besides a polar bear. Like I think the polar bear is the scariest bears. That even like I swear. Because think about it, like polar bears,
and they can swim.
Well, and they don't. You got to think they're in Antarctica.
But like the bears. Okay, but the bears. You ever seen them videos where they're like punching the ice to try and get a seal under the water?
Bro, that is insane.
That doesn't even make sense to me because it's like, is the seal just like sitting right up underneath the ice? Just like, oh yeah, what's going on up there? Like what? Like what do you mean? Like it's just like, oh, smells like a seal down there. Boom. I'm just like, these is ice fishing?
I'm telling you, man.
Nah.
That's why I wouldn't mess with them. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna die regardless.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the little sun bear because being out in Cali, they always be having the sun bears at like zoos and stuff, and they're like, they
I didn't know
they just be in. They're like super small.
Oh,
they're like really really small bears, but like. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I'm not going for the big one, bro. No, absolutely not. Like sun bear, like a little sun bear, and even then, bro, they're like super duper good at climbing. Like they can run for real, and so like their nails are like fingers, like real life fingers, like grizzlies. So it's like even them, it's like I mean, shoot, if it goes real quick, it's like there goes my face, like my entire face is gone. So like
that's fair.
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, I mean, shoot. Nah, that's shout out TikTok. I mean, shoot. Shout out TikTok for making me think of these things. Golly.
Dude, speaking of bears though, how about the Chicago Bears? That's rough, dude. That's rough. Now listen, I
think they'll get fucked up by any animal out there right now. I was just being honest with you. That's and I feel bad obviously because I play the game, so it's like when I know cats on the team too, and it's just like, man, like and that's like the craziest part about it, like especially when you know people in it and like you be around them too. It's like all of us be around them. It's like you're a good athlete, a good player, all this type of stuff. You're like, there's no way that this should be going this way. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I looked at Denver. Like I was like, I looked at that. I was like, there's no way. I seen a tweet too that said, they're like, Colorado ain't seen an ass whooping this bad since 24 hours. I said, hey, dude, yo.
Poor Colorado, bro.
Colorado just went through it for 2 days straight. Like, imagine being like a diehard Buffs and Broncos fan. Like, you had a horrible 48 hours.
I hope they took Monday off.
Oh, 100. You got to. There's
like they really kind of deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve it.
That was bad, dude.
Dude. Yeah. Hey, don't do that. Are the Rockies? Are they even still in Colorado?
Yeah.
Are the Rockies still there? I don't think
they're very good.
See, I mean, it's rough to be a Colorado fan. Shout out to all my Colorado people. Beautiful state. Beautiful state.
That's the state I want to go to though. That's like bucket list state. I've never been.
I want to do I kind of want to do my 30th there and like just do a bunch of like ski, snowboard stuff because I'm a snowboarder. I always say ski first because everybody,
That's
you say snowboard first, and everybody just looks at me like you're a liar. And I'm just like, I grew up in Wisconsin, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't ski at all.
Really?
Like,
but you can snowboard,
bro. So everybody says that. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. They're like skiing so much easier. I'm like, in what world is going like this, just down? Like, just you're on a board. You're on a board on snow. And you're gonna tell me 2 skinny little freaking poles and your feet is easier than snowboarding?
100%.
Nah. I just don't understand it. We can run a pole right here. What's easier, skiing or snowboarding?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's
yeah, for real. Yeah. Like we can do it. I'm about to say, I'm like, I will go goofy. I will go regular. I don't care.
I can't
give me a board
snowboard
any day.
I tried to snowboard one time and I just fell the entire time. And then that next day, like my core was so sore.
See, like, and that's
brutally sore. Yeah, I ski. Yeah. I don't use poles when I ski. I'm just what are they called? Skis. I'm just skis, man. I don't.
That's crazy.
I don't. I just don't like to anymore. Now I just like to fling my arms and do whatever. Just do whatever when I ski. I'm not that guy though that goes and like wears like a sports jersey. Yeah. I'm not that guy. Like I still bundle up.
Nah,
But like I'm out there,
it'd
like
be
you know,
cold.
what I'm saying?
That's the other thing too. Like when I see people out there just like skiing or snowboarding, like no clothes and like just like vibing, like I'm just like, hey, power to you, man, because it's fucking cold out there.
Yeah, dude. I'm bundled up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah.
Well, but back to the like you said, the Bears.
Oh, right. Yeah, we went on a whole thing.
Yeah, we got on Colorado and bro, it is. It's beautiful. I mean, but golly, man, I don't know what to say about him. I mean, as somebody who proudly drafted Justin Fields in fantasy this year, I proudly did.
Yeah,
and I think he's a good player. I think they have really good players.
that's what I was going to ask. Like, what do you think? Right? I mean, obviously you have
the
experience.
The cliche of, and a lot of obviously they would be. They've guys have alluded to it and not said all this stuff. There's got to be some type of disconnect with coaching and players, because it's like Bowles said after their game, and even Devontae Adams said after the game last night with Vegas, is like, Devontae was like, I don't have time to kind of figure stuff out. Like we talk about stuff all week and then we get here on Sunday and it doesn't happen. Like, in Bowles saying, he's like, hey, I've been here 7 years and we haven't won anything. It's like, these are real statements. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, and I think a lot of the time, like, there's, people talk about the process or talk about, rebuilding and all this stuff. And it's like, that's all fine and dandy. And a lot of coaches do want things done their way. But there's something to playing to the strengths of what you have. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Just play to the strengths of what you have. Like when you come in, like one of the guys who's going to be here today, like he'd be better suited to tell you this, but like, I can just use myself as an example. Like I played defensive line my entire life, got drafted to play offensive line because they thought it'd be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's cool. I'm sure. Like, I appreciate you thinking I'm athletic enough to try something completely new in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all fine and dandy. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, all right, then I look at, other guys that I played with who are playing the same position as me. And I'm like, all right, I think we're very, very equal in skill level. And they've been playing this whole time at D-line and stuff like that. So it's like, like it's all interesting. It's like, what is the right answer? Is it, I should have figured out how to do this better, or maybe I should have just been given that opportunity in this way, so it's always hard to say. I mean, obviously not in the locker room either, so it's hard to kind of tell. And then like I said, it's execution. Like some guys, like that's how it is. If you're gonna have programs for college and organizations for the league, it's like you have to be able to adapt to what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to adapt. And I think that's what like we just talked about Colorado, like that's what like priming them, like, bro, he knows exactly what they got. He said it like a couple weeks ago. He's like, we're like 8 or 9 dogs away. You know what I'm saying? Like just being honest, because look at his receivers. You watch them play. They can play. Their O-line and D-line cannot. Yeah. And that's the thing. I was telling people that, I'm like, there are 2 or 3 bless you. There are 2 or 3 recruiting cycles away from being able to compete with these people for real. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a funny ass tweet. It was somebody was like, man, this Oregon coach didn't have all this energy when they went down to play somebody in the SEC and kick a field goal. So I'm like, nah, bro, like for real, because it's like, why are you so hyped up to play a team that was 1-11 last year? I'm like, golly, I don't think I ever heard a speech like that when we had to play Vandy. Even I'm 1-2 versus Vandy. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people though, I didn't play either of the losses, but I'm still 1-2 versus Vandy. But I never heard a speech like that. When we were going to play them, like, and it was right, wrong, or indifferent. I mean, like I just said, we were 1-2 against them, so maybe should have got a speech like that. But it's like, I get it, and I get why people are like, oh, there's the whole when he said the whole clicks versus wins thing, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, bro, but like you act like they're the one. Like it's a perfect example. Of somebody said it's like Dion hasn't talked about one other coach. They all just talk about him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
So it's just like you've got somebody coming in and trying to play to the strengths of his team. When you have weaknesses, if somebody just wants to expose your weaknesses, they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Which is what they did. They had a great game. Somebody literally DM'd me, was like, yeah, fuck you, blah, blah, Colorado lost. You can jump out the band. I was like, did you not see my earlier? I predicted them to lose. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, why are you? I was like, means nothing to me. I was like, I don't know what this is for.
But I just think that's like so I went to the TCU Colorado game. I went and watched it at TCU, and like when I watched the game, their skill position on both sides of the ball are lights out. Like they're really, really good. But like in that game, they couldn't run the ball. Their running back, I think, had 100 yards receiving off of like screens or swing passes.
that was he had like a couple touchdowns that game too.
Yeah. And so like when you watch that, and I even told him, I went with a buddy of mine, and I was like, man, that O-line is bad.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a guy that like I can go watch a game and like, oh, like that was the defense was that good, but like that TCU team wasn't. My thing was when you would hear that like, oh man, like Colorado just beat the team that just made it to the
Natty.
Yeah, the Natty, right? And that wasn't the same team. Like anybody that watched the last year TCU to this year's TCU knows that. Like they weren't the same team. And so when I was watching that, I was like, man, like this TCU team wasn't. I don't want to say they're bad, right? Because obviously I think they're going to be a top 25. I think they're going to be a top 25 team. I mean, they just rolled SMU, and SMU always puts out pretty good teams. But like, I just felt like people were jumping on this TCU or the Colorado and be like, man, this Colorado team's great. They're gonna be so good, but they don't realize like the Pac-12 this year is legit.
Yeah.
Like the Pac-12 this year is really, really good. When you really look at it, like they have, I think it's like 5 or 6 teams in the top 25.
And they just had Wazoo upset Oregon State, and another game I picked Wazoo in that one because I was like, Wazoo is really good, and Oregon State's won some games, but they haven't really played anybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take Wazoo, who's played some people, and they're good.
I'm telling you. So that's what I'm saying. Like when people were like no matter what Colorado does this year is obviously better than last year.
Yeah.
And I think alone with Prime, they're setting themselves up for so much success.
Yeah.
A ton of success.
And that's why I even brought it up in comparison to like, some of these teams in the NFL who are like struggling. I don't see a lot of these teams playing to the strengths of what they have on the team. I see them trying to change an identity or change a culture or all this type of stuff. And it's like, that works in college. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not, and well, they're getting paid now. So it's like a little bit different, because guys they can just leave. But like in the league, like I don't think that works. I honestly don't. I don't think it works for you to be like, oh, I need to come in and make these guys play the brand of football I want to see play. I'm like, dude, majority of coaches don't make as much as players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've heard some crazy things said to, coaches by guys who make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And like, and right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not really the point. You know what I mean? Like that's really, really not the point. Like everybody who works has either thought of or said something crazy to their boss. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're like, man, I can't take it anymore. Whatever. So it's like your job as the boss, as the coach, as a facilitator, whatever, is to make sure that everyone can do their jobs to the best of their ability. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't think that it should be they should do their jobs to the standard of what you think how they should do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's flawed. That's a flawed way of looking at it. And that's just what I see with some of these teams is just, either you have guys put in positions where they're not put in to succeed, or you have guys not being utilized in ways that, could actually help them. So,
well, I mean, I feel like you played for Baltimore, right? Mm-hmm. And I felt like when Lamar came into the league, the way the offense was built, I think it was built around him.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like why don't teams do that more often with their quarterbacks now? Because, like, you get a guy like look at Green Bay with Jordan Love. Like, Jordan Love's not a running quarterback. He can get out of the pocket and make things happen. Same thing with, like, Patrick Mahomes, right? But they built these offenses around them. Like, they allow Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But you get a guy like Jordan Love or even, like, a younger quarterback, and they're kind of like dumping it off, the check downs, or they're setting themselves up for success. Yeah. So then I feel like when you get a quarterback like a Lamar or like a Justin Fields, who obviously Justin Fields right now, I feel like in the NFL his legs are phenomenal. I never thought he was going to be a running quarterback. I like Justin Fields because I thought in the pocket he could just sling it.
I did too.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like, and again, I don't know as much as you do, obviously, on this side of things, but that's where I feel like, okay, that's got to be something on the coaching side. Like, if you're not building your offense around Justin Fields and the way he plays, like, look at what Harbaugh did with the Ravens with Lamar. Like, they built the offense around him.
Yeah.
Look how much they've succeeded over the last.
And I think that a lot of it too, watching their games. I mean, he is really good in the pocket, and I think that his pocket is just collapsing at all times in a lot of these games. And like I mean, I think he's got really good players on that offensive line too. Like, it's not, there's so many different factors to a football game too that a lot of people don't understand, and that's why, like, I literally was arguing with people on Twitter all weekend. And it's just like, it's just so funny because it's like, you know, you can't, like, if you just want to be a hater, be a hater. Like, I always tell people that, like, I am a hater. Like, I'm perfectly fine with being a hater on stuff. Like, I said it last part we were in here. I was like, Ronaldo, Messi. I'm a Messi hater. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I'm fine with being one too. Like, you don't have to tell me like, oh no, Messi this is that. I'm like, that's cool. Like, I'm a hater. Sorry, bro. Like, I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna admit it to you because I like somebody else. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm gonna be that hater. But other people be like, no, it's like it's just, people will literally, they'll try and make it about other stuff, like, oh no, you're just not seeing the point, or oh, you're not this, you're not that. I'm like, okay, you just aren't seeing the point either, though. Like, you're not. I am seeing your point. I'm telling you your point. I'm telling you why your point may be wrong. You're just, just gonna die on that hill that you're just right because, oh well, you're just soft. You don't get it. Like, oh, okay, whatever, bud. Like, you got it. Like, I could, if I sat here and read all the tweets that I got this weekend, it was, oh my gosh. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I was just like, what? Like, some of them literally had me just perplexed. But no, yeah, I think on the move, he does have some things to work on and things like that. And, he's a young quarterback too. Like, he's actually a young kid. So, like, of course he's got things to worry about, work on. So it's like, I do think that last year they let him run a lot more than they are this year. Yeah. Which, like I said, is whatever their plan is what their plan is. But I think that you have to change it up at some point. You can't just be like, oh, we're this close. I've been in those meetings where it's been like, guys, we are this close on this one, or we are this close on this one. Like, this past season, I was playing in the XFL, and like, we were running power, and backside end kept making plays. Yeah. On the ball. And I was like, hey, why don't we just, it's called hinge the backside, like, just have the tackle or tight end step down and then wall that guy off, and let's just see what the back will be able to do if he's not getting hit 5 yards in the backfield. Like, yeah, we might lose a puller, we might lose somebody front side, like, a backer, somebody who's already 3 yards off the ball. Yeah. But, maybe we won't get tackled in the backfield every single play. No. That's not the way. That's not the design. Block front side. Block this. Block, okay. All right. Well, continue to get tackled 3 yards in the back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, and it's fine. It's like, I was always taught coaches coach, and that's it. Yeah. And so, but that's the thing about it. Like, when you're actually out there and you're playing, and you're like, this doesn't look right. This doesn't feel right. All these types of things, and you try and tell people like, look at how the Jets were. Their guys were on the sidelines this week. Like that looked bad. You know what I'm saying? Like that looked bad. And I think their head coach is great. I think Salah's a really, really good coach. Their defense obviously is very, very good. But that's the thing too. Like when you have like a head coach or a coach who's offensive or defensive oriented, like. It's always tough too because then they cater to that side and they they'd be like, oh well, somebody else is taking care of the other side of the ball, and it's it causes that little bit of rift and things like that, and it makes it kind of tough to be able to just say, all right, we're just gonna go to work and we're just gonna go out there and fight for each other and do what we got to do and all that type of stuff, which to me is I think what I'm seeing around the league. Like you have some of these teams where it's like they can feed off each other well, like the Dolphins. I mean,
wow.
Shout out to them and what they're doing down there. I think their head coach is amazing. I think he's a facilitator. Like he understands like I have these guys, I'm going to play to them. I'm going to like make them feel like this environment, this team, this city, everything is just welcoming, blah blah whatever, and you're already in Miami. So, like, once you step outside, you're working hard because it's 1 billion degrees, it's humid, and it's, the sun is going to be out. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just going to be raining on you. Exactly. So, it's like every day you go to work, you're going to be working hard. So many times you have guys like, oh, we got to do this to get the edge. We got to do this. We got to do this. Like, football is already hard. Like, making it hard on top of that is like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine or whatever, but, like, these guys, looks like they're just having fun down there, just doing what they're doing. They put up 70. 70 is crazy.
Isn't the NFL record 72?
Yeah, it was, 72, 73, something like that. Like, or what's it called? They said, what's it called? They said, I saw something, too. It was because Broncos denied McDaniel the interview. And he's just like, well, he had enough class. And Sean Payton was like talking trash about him, I think, or something like. Oh no, Sean Payton was talking about Hackett from the Jets. But they were just like, yeah, like they denied him that, but he didn't go for the points record against them. Like just
that's, what a guy.
Yeah, like I'm just like, but that's the thing. It's like it really doesn't even take much, and I'm sure you probably like part of him maybe wanted to and all this type of stuff. What do you say? Yeah.
I think you already kind of did, right?
Yeah,
I think once you get above
70 is like
once you get above 50, it's kind of like at that point like
it's that little the little kid that Jesus Christ. That's what it is. It's just like golly, it's like this is so much at this point. Like we're really we just doing it to him, but that's the thing too. It's like I've always been a fan of running up scores too. Like I don't really get the idea of like if like a fan or somebody gets mad like you guys ran up the score on us or whatever. Like it's like fam, we work all week for one day, where you get to go out there and showcase. Yeah. And especially once the starters get pulled, them kids who come in and get a chance to play now. But they probably gonna go twice as hard. And they go try and get at least. They're like, man, they put up this. All right, we got to put up at least half that or something. Like, come on now. Like, so it's it's always interesting, and that's why I say too. Like, it's like, man, like you put up 70, and you're obviously doing something right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, obviously, like it's 3 games in this season. I get it. Like, lots of things can happen. Like last year, Tua got hurt, and then all of a sudden their entire season changed. So it's all that is part of it. You know what I mean? So, but that's the league though. That's why it's like every single week is like its own season. Like and that's how you have to treat it if you want to be like the best that you can be. Like you can't just treat everything like this is just we're looking at the long term. We're looking at this. Like, what do you mean the long term? Like, you look at the long term, and then next thing you look up, and it's 70-20. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I think we need to think about what's going on right now. Yeah,
I never. That to me, like I think I learned that a lot in college when I went to Grand Valley State. We're a Division II program. And our head coach there, Grand Valley State. Listen, listen. I'm telling you, man. Like we lost game 1, so we were number I think 3 or 2 in the nation in Division II, and we lost to the number 2 or 3.
Number 2,
right?
just we'll say number 2.
Yeah, it was and then we lost to number 3, right? But I'm telling you, we were on a 2-game win streak, so we played 2 Colorado teams, and then we played Assumption, where I don't know where Assumption is, but wherever. Regardless,
I've heard of that school.
The thing is they were ranked top 25.
Yeah,
and we
I feel like I played with somebody who went to Assumption or something like that.
You might have. Brian Kelly went there, so that's what we call it, the Brian Kelly Bowl, because I guess like Brian Kelly. So Brian Kelly coached at Assumption, then came to Grand Valley,
gotcha.
And then went to I think Miami of Ohio, and then went to like Cincinnati, or I don't know. I don't know the whole lineage of Brian Kelly, but regardless,
you knew a lot more than I did. I was like, wow, you know a lot of schools.
Regardless, they ended up playing. And that's where I learned from my head coach there was he was big on that. Like truly, is it Massachusetts?
Of course it is.
So like that's what I love so much about Grand Valley too, was the fact that when I was there, we played against teams from different states. Like we played a team in Utah, ran them up. We played a team in Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
Like we played all these different teams. My senior year, which would have been COVID, we were supposed to go out and play in Colorado. Obviously, because of COVID, we didn't get a chance to. But I mean, we played against like teams like that all the time. Like that was our thing. Was like in Division II, it is so much of like no matter like if you lose like 2 games like that, you could be out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so in my 3 years of playing, we never had a bye week. And so this year they actually had their first bye week. They had their first bye week this year, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, like what? Like we gotta.
I don't know. It was just that's what we did.
Get it together. No bye week is crazy,
dude. It's just nothing. Like, dude, it was crazy. But like, I loved it because it's like we would play.
I loved it.
I loved it. I mean, I feel you. Yeah, I feel you.
But I also was a long snapper, so like my body wasn't what I'm saying. Like my body wasn't banged up after game 3.
D2, get it together now.
D2's got some good ball, man.
No, 100%. But give your players a bye week. Give your players a bye week.
I will say most teams do. We just never did. We just never did.
Oh man,
it's just how our coach thought. Now he's at Wisconsin now doing his thing. But they
get a bye week though. They get a bye week.
Listen, there's definitely, don't get me wrong, I definitely would love to have had a bye week.
Yeah.
Because when you go, obviously, and you play a whole college season, 12 weeks, right? Like, it's kind of nice to get a week off where you can just go go back home. I mean, I was only 3 hours away, so I could go back home, do whatever, but never had that opportunity because we were playing every single week, even against against the bad teams, right? That's the thing about D2. I feel like is like there's a handful of really good teams, and then there's teams that you're about to go run up.
I mean, that's everything though. Like there's a handful of like really good stuff, and then there's some stuff where you're like, that was shit. So it's just like, it's at that top level of everything. Like shoot, look at freaking I can't even call it the Marvel universe no more. It's the Disney verse. You know what I'm saying? Like all the Disney verse, that's what I call them now. Star Wars, Marvel, and stuff.
It's all stuff up.
It's Disney. They own it all now, so it's not. It was different before they came in and ran stuff. So that's why I think of it now. So you've got like the Iron Man, and you've got like the Captain America, the Black Panther, all that's the Avenger stuff.
Yeah,
it's all really, really good. Like old Star Wars, some of like the new shows, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Clone Wars, stuff like that. That's really good. And then you have like the new Star Wars movies, and then you have and I ain't here to talk horrible on them. They were terrible movies. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible movies. Like some of the new Marvel movies that came out, they're horrible. You know what I'm saying? They're really, really bad. So it's just like, it's like that's everything. You got some really, really good. Then you got some really, really bad. It's like same thing with DC.
I was about to say that. Like, why do I feel like DC movies are? I just feel like they're not as like prominent. Like.
Well, it's because
do you think it's because they don't cater to look at the Joker or like Dark Knight. Like those are like movies that I feel like if I wasn't I feel like those are movies like my parents wouldn't let me watch just because of how nuts, right? Like I know, like my parents are kind of like, hey, like I don't know, you should watch that, right? Like,
well, but I think that's the thing with DC. They try and get off on the whole like idea of oh, you're gonna come see our movies anyways because we have the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they do. Like, that's one thing I will give like old school Marvel credit for. Like, bro, like they made us love. I mean, not made us. Like, people love Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, you know, Hawkeye. Like, not like that. Like, you not. If somebody said, oh, who do you like more, Iron Man or Superman, as a kid, you're not saying Iron Man. Like, no, you're not. Like, shut up. Don't lie to yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Black Panther made all of us all of a sudden know what Juneteenth was. Like, I was like, come on, bro. Like, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's gonna hate me for that one. But if you mad, then you're probably one of the people who didn't know Juneteenth was around before then. But that's what I'm saying. It's like DC, you have these characters and stuff that like were actually for real and like are great characters. Then they just say like, yeah, we're just gonna put something out and you guys are gonna come see it just because we want to put out a movie. And I think also that's what's interesting about their new wave of DC stuff coming out. Like, I think they're coming around to the idea like, okay, if we put in some effort into who we cast for these movies, who we get to direct them, we can actually gain like some of this money and all this stuff that Disney and Marvel are getting because, you know, and they're also DC, so they're not going to, oh, we don't actually make over PG-13 movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very scared for what the next Deadpool movie is going to be. Because now it's 100% Disney, so it's going to be very interesting because they don't make R-rated movies. Yeah,
that's, I don't know. I just feel like with Marvel's more of like a family. Like, I could see a family going to Marvel. Like, I couldn't see a family going to like Dark Knight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't. You don't see like a family of four going to go watch Dark Knight or the Joker, right? Like, they're going to go watch Guardian of the Galaxy. They're going to go watch the Avengers movies. Yeah. I think that has something to do with it. I feel like it's just not as like family focused.
No, and I'm definitely with you on that. But I think the thing about that is like you have those different like, bro, like this next phase of Marvel. Like, whoever the villain is, like, if you go off the comic books, there should be a lot. Well, even just Captain America versus Iron Man. Yeah. One of them was supposed to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it was just supposed to be like, oh, we're just going to go our separate ways, all that's. You know, like, there's some dark stuff in the comics and all that type of thing, but it's just what you choose to make your story. And I think DC can do that. They just decide not to. You know what I mean? And I think. That's why I say I think this whole new wave will be very interesting, like the Aquaman, all this stuff. And the new Aquaman actually looks very, very interesting. And I'm going to be super, super excited if Amber Heard's character doesn't last longer than 5 minutes in the movie too. So that's gonna rile everybody up right there. So that'll be a lot of fun there to see that. So I don't know. It'll be really, really interesting. There's that stuff coming up. There's freaking Dana White just put out the new little slate for the end of the year for UFC fights that are very, very exciting in my opinion. You got Jones and Stipe. You've got our boy Ian Gary versus Vicente Luque. You got Shavkat and Stephen Thompson. Like you got Pantoja and Roy Val. You got Colby and Leon. So like. There's a Hamzat's fighting too here soon. So like there's a bunch of fun stuff. You got Ryder Cup this weekend too for golf and everything. So like there's a lot of fun stuff still going on for the rest of the year. And then we still got the rest of the season coming up here in football. And that's what I think is interesting too. Like you've got like all this stuff going on and then you've got playoffs for baseball. I was literally just doing some orders for my wife. She does custom game day gear for wives and girlfriends, family members, and all that stuff. And she's doing some stuff for the Blue Jays and Dodgers. And like I was just doing some of their stuff, and I'm like, man, like sports are really in full swing. I was like, I felt like I was like, there's like a weird like lull in the year, like in spring to me, where it's like it feels like nothing's going on. Mm-hmm. And then like once sports like kind of pick up, we're like, oh, okay, cool, they're back. But it's like we really don't realize how back they are. You know, it's like, oh no, they're all the way back. Like
we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Like I'm pretty sure hockey starts. Like
I was about to say, hockey starts soon. Yeah, hockey starts soon, and basketball will be going. So it's like,
yeah, dude, it's crazy,
man.
Like we really like we're in that full swing right now. This is like the greatest time of the year.
Yeah.
And then like in like Texas right now, like we're starting to get in the 90s, so that's huge. Like that's nice to cool off from.
Yeah, it's nice to cool off in the
time.
90s. I was like, I can go outside and instead of melting, I'm just now dripping.
Well, I went to Oktoberfest this weekend.
Did you? How was it?
Dude, I had to go in the AC.
No.
Like I got one of those Steins, and I had like it was like I had one of those beers, and I was like, dude, like I am just cooked right now. Like, I got to go inside right now. Like I was.
But you should have just got another beer to cool off.
Yeah, dude, but like I don't know, man. Like they were like sitting them outside, so like when you would drink them, they were kind of like warm already. Because again, like you set it outside, and it's like, dude, you have like 20 minutes.
Which Oktoberfest?
I went to McKenzie.
McKenzie,
which is sick, dude. It was pretty badass, man.
Yeah, people told me.
Dude, I didn't either.
I literally found out from my chiropractor like on Friday morning. They're like, oh yeah, it goes until Sunday. And I was like,
dude, I had no idea. It's my first time. It was my first time ever going.
Completely missed it.
It was awesome though. I mean, there was good food, and then obviously like everybody's just vibing there. Like everybody, it was cool because everybody was just having a good time.
See,
like nobody was bothering nobody.
Yeah,
you know, it was just fun. I highly recommend it.
Was the beer pretty inflated? Was it
Dude, I mean, I paid $21
for one beer
for my Stein, dude. Which fit two beers, but then a refill. So this is where they got us. Is they didn't tell us that. So they said on their sign it was like $7.50 for a refill. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. To fill this Stein, $7.50, cool. No, they lied to you. They count that as 2 beers. So she didn't even ask me. So I paid $15 for a refill. So I paid $36 for 4 beers.
Oh my god!
Like, are you kidding me, bro? We should have just grabbed a cooler and filled it up and put some Coors Light in there. I would have been fine.
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah. I was like,
that hurts.
Whoa! I was like, wait a second. Like, I'm done with this.
That hurts.
It was bad.
We're gonna have to check back in. We got election year next year, so yeah, we'll have to check back in, and I'll have to check back in at Oktoberfest in 2025.
Check inflation.
Yeah.
What is today? The 23rd, 25th?
Yeah.
25th. Like, okay, like how we sitting? Like,
yeah.
What is inflation like next year? Hopefully we go down.
Yeah.
I'd like some cheaper beer. Unfortunately, like
36 is. I don't think I'll be at Oktoberfest anytime soon. So no, sir.
No, I'm not with that. Not at all.
Oh man. But yeah, man, this has been awesome. Appreciate my guy Scott coming around. I think he did all right, so we might have to have him back around 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, give me a rating. Can you do that on the poll? Like, give me a
rating. We can do that poll too. We'll give me a rating.
Like give me like 1 through 10.
Yeah, and we'll put a nice little picture of a penguin right next to it too. Just like we'll give him no, that's how we're gonna rate him. We'll rate you from puffer penguin to emperor penguin. How good did Scott do? Puffer to emperor. Like what type of penguin?
I like that. That way we can get a good feel. Like how we feeling. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I wear jeans like twice a year, so I busted them out today. I went all out on this podcast today. Like I was like I woke up this morning. I told my girl, I was like, hey man, like this is like what should I wear today? Like this is a big day. You know what I'm saying? This is a big day. I was like, I had to come out and like really do my thing. So
I mean, you did. You matched the brown and the
like that.
Like, yeah,
this is like it, bro. This is it. This is like my only matching fit that I got. Like. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
wait, real quick, because I know you're a big music guy. Like, what song were you listening to on the way here? Was it I know that you have a favorite artist right now, Sexy Red. Was it
Sexy Red, dude? No, actually, today I decided I was like, you know what? I got to get in the mindset, right? So I started off. I listened to I forget what song I started off with, but then I switched to Joe Rogan podcast. I listened to Shane Gillis.
Nice.
That's my guy, dude. He's so funny, bro. Oh my gosh, man.
Shout out to Shane Gillis.
Yeah, dude, he's hilarious.
He is very, very funny. Yeah. Come on down, Shane.
Yeah, what can we do to get him on the podcast?
Whatever we got to do. We want to get you on here.
He's a football guy. You're a football guy.
See, come on, we can come talk some.
You have to have some connections. Did he really?
Come on. I'm about to say. I'm like, now I'm about to find out. I'm gonna find out somebody you played with, Shane. Don't worry. They're gonna text you for me. So
we're gonna track you down.
Yeah, we're gonna track you down. He's like, what do you say on the plane? He's like, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna be down there in 5 minutes. I hope you stretch.
That's D2. That's a D2 program. That is a D2 guy, dude. I'll hit him up.
D2 connection. Come on, Shane. Come on down. Nah, man. But this has been awesome. This is Kahlil McKenzie and Scott Mullinex signing off for you guys. Have a good one. Boom.
Guys, good shit.
Appreciate it.
Hold for photo.